Hey there, soapers, and welcome to Project 2 of our soap making course. Today in Project 2, we have a fun and easy way to make your dishwashing soap. It's a great way to keep those dishes clean and save money. So let's get started by looking at our little supplies we have today. We have a cheese grater. We won't be using it for cheese though. We have a couple of measuring cups. I also have a bar of soap. It's ivory and it doesn't smell like anything even though it's green. And I do recommend using something like that. You can also use any of the soaps that you've already made yourself. Mine are still curing, so I can't quite use that for this project, but normally I would. So you can definitely use one of your other soaps, but just make sure that you don't have any essential oils in it just yet. I also have my tablespoon, some borax. I have a burner here, but I'm hoping that you guys are going to use your own stove. We don't have one today at our studio, so we're just going to use this burner. And of course, we have our pot, our glass mixing bowl, and our trusty stick mixer. And these are the supplies that we will need to make our dishwashing soap. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do, I already measured it out because pouring water into a glass isn't that interesting, and I'm sure you guys know how to do it. So I'm just going to go ahead and add my 1 cup. Next step is we're going to boil our water. So I have my water boiling and I'm just going to let it sit there. We're not going to worry about that until it boils. In the meantime, I am going to take my bar of soap and start grating some off. We only need 1 tablespoon. We only need 1 tablespoon of the granulated soap, but it's going to take a little bit, so this works out perfectly. Just grate your soap like you would like cheese or anything else that you would do in the kitchen. I'm using a different grater than I would for any of my food prep stuff. Again, I don't want to mix soap making with any other type of food stuff. Those two do not mix. Now maybe you're asking yourself, why are you grating up the soap? Why can't we just chop it up into little pieces? You totally can, but it will take a lot longer for it to melt, which is why we are boiling our water. Looks like we've reached boiling right now. I'm just going to add my 1 tablespoon of granulated soap. Next up, after adding my granulated soap into our boiling water, I'm going to take 1 tablespoon of borax and go ahead and add that into the pot. And our next step, we're just going to whisk it until it's completely clear. So I've just been stirring and stirring this pot until all of my little granules of the borax and soap have dissipated, and now it's completely liquefied. And that's great, that's where we want it to be. Of course, you can probably, maybe you guys can see that it's still steaming and very, very hot. So it's not quite ready to be dishwasher soap just yet. So what we can do is we can just put it in a glass bowl and keep it in a cool place for about 6 to 8 hours. And that will allow it to form into kind of a gel consistency. Then we can put it in a soap dispenser and use it on all of our dishes. So what I'm going to do now, that looks pretty well mixed. So now I'm just going to transfer this into a more suited storage container. As you see, it's pretty clear and well mixed. You don't see any little granulated pieces in there, but it's still super hot. I'm just putting it on this burner so you guys can see it, but I'm not having no heat on it or anything like that. In fact, this guy is going to be a little bit hot for about 6 to 8 hours. So we're just going to put this one in a nice, cool, and dry place so it'll calm down, and we'll see in a couple hours that it's going to turn into gel. And I can't wait to show you guys what we do next. So I'll see you soon. Welcome back, everyone. It's been about overnight here, and our little concoction is set up just nicely. And because I stored it in a dry and cool place, it turned into kind of a jello consistency. And if you move it and shake it in the bowl, it kind of looks like jello itself, kind of just shakes in there. So that's pretty cool, and that's how we know that it's finished. I went ahead and poured it out of our mixing bowl into our other little container right here because it's going to be a lot easier to pour it into our soap container. So we're going to go ahead and just pour it right in. Perfect amount. Awesome. Next up, we want to add our fragrance into our little concoction here. It's totally optional, but I like everything to smell really lovely when I'm doing my dishes, and I hope that you do too. So we're going to take our essential oil lemon, and I'm going to add about 15 to 20 drops. It really depends on what essential oil you decide to work with, but whatever you choose, I'm sure it's just going to be smelling so lovely. All right, now that that's done, instead of stirring it or anything like that, I'm just going to give it a good shake. Just mix it all up just in here like that. I can already smell the lemon. Oh yeah, it smells great. All right, all that you want to do now is just wash all the dirty dishes you have in your kitchen, and it's going to smell beautiful, and you're using all natural ingredients. And who doesn't love that? I'm just going to even just smell it right now. It smells awesome. So I hope you enjoyed learning how to make your own dishwashing soap with me today. All that's next is to make that kitchen of yours spotless. So enjoy the soap and tweet me a couple photos of your brand new spotless kitchen with our lovely dishwashing soap. See you next time. Today we are going to be talking about all the fun little creative things we can add into our soaps to make them extra special. What does that mean? Well, we're going to be talking about different fruits, herbs, leaves, other type of natural additives we can add into our soaps